welcome back to my channel. In today's video we will be doing esto. So if you like it, stay tuned, keep watching. You can fast forward through my intro, I guess, but basically I just want to say thank you so much for returning, and if you're new, bienvenidos a mi canal. Now today, as you can see, we'll be doing the halo look. Now, to achieve this look, I have only used one single palette, and that is the Morphe 35M Bus Nude. I actually just got this delivered today, and I'm so excited. This is what she looks like. So, as you can see, we have some mattes and we have some shimmers, and the only colors that have a little dent in them are the colors that I used today. So it was a little bit of a review for me. Didn't quite review it out loud. Basically, I love it. It's a Morphe palette. They never fail. So I got this one actually online right now since we are quarantined, guys. Y'all better be staying at home. Place an order online. That's all I gotta say. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. As always, if you learned something new, if you liked this, consider subscribing. The more y'all boost on my ego, the more videos there will be, and the happier you guys will be. So if you guys are looking for double duty videos because you're just bored at home, let me know. Otherwise, I hope that, you know, you just learn something. Even if you don't learn something, it just gives you the motivation to try something new, to go for it. Gives you something to do because you're bored at home right now. You know, bust out those brushes, bust out those palettes. Do it. So yes, to continue watching, and thank you so much as always, guys. I love you. All right, guys, so let's get right to it. Now, before we do, I do want to mention that I am playing around with angles with my setup. I have a new stand. A couple of you guys actually reached out to me and let me know that you wish that my videos were just a little bit closer so you can see the actual placement of certain colors. Especially with the lighter colors, I understand that it's a little bit more difficult to see the further away that you are. So if you enjoy this, let me know, and if you don't, let me know and I'll back up. I have no problem backing it up. So let me know. But other than that, pretty much just grab a fluffy brush, your favorite palettes, 3 colors, and let's do this. Now, all the colors that I use will be linked down below in the description, therefore you know exactly what colors I use if you'd like to follow along with me. You know, if you want to do this at the same time, you have this palette, let's do it. Now I'm going to be grabbing a smaller mirror. As you know, if you've purchased Morphe palettes, they just do not come with a mirror. So I have a mirror handy. Have your fluffy brush. Let's dip into this now. Now with the halo effect, pretty much the whole concept of this is making sure that instead of highlighting the inner corner, you're going to be highlighting the middle here. So start off with the outer color here. You want to grab your lightest shade that you plan on using. This is your base. Just kind of feather that out here on both sides. You want to leave the middle clear of any color for now. Gonna go back in. Sorry, I lost the color that I used. So I'm gonna go back in and do the same thing to the other lid. Just feather this out. Just on the outside and on the inside. You can meet them in the middle if you'd like. I usually wait a little bit for that. And grab another color. Now this is going to be the main color that you want this look to be. So I'm going to go into the green here, and I'm going to go over this. We're going to do the same thing to the inner corner here. As you can see with the fluffier brushes, it's nice. It just blends everything a lot easier. I'm gonna feather that out. Feather this one out. Now we're gonna do the same thing to the other eye. Okay. So there you have two colors already. Now you can go ahead and add another color if you want a little bit more depth. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna grab a much smaller brush here, not as fluffy as the last one, because with this one you don't want it to spread as far out as the other colors. So I'm gonna grab a much smaller brush here, and we're gonna go into I'm gonna do a lighter green, and it's gonna be a lot more, it's gonna pop hopefully a little bit more. And we're gonna go as close as possible here to the middle. Hope you can see that. You can fan this out as well, but as you can see with this particular brush, it doesn't go out as much as with the fluffier brush. And then do the same thing on the inside here. This is where your cut crease would normally be. So that, hopefully it helps guide you. Now at this point, I do like to connect the top. As you saw with the other colors, it was just like kind of going over it, but not necessarily hitting that middle portion. So now I like to, just to close it up, to help guide me a little bit better to know where that middle is going to be. So now we are going to do the same thing with the other eye. Okay, there we have three colors. I'm gonna go back in with my fluffy brush and go in to a much lighter tone, lighter than the base that we have here. And I'm gonna go over the brow bone. I'm gonna lighten that up a little bit. Add a little shimmer to it as well. Blend that out. Okay, so now we are going to go into the middle portion. Now for this, you don't necessarily have to use concealer. In my experience, it is just much easier if you do use the concealer. You just dab it right here. You're gonna go up a little bit. Don't add too much. Same thing with this side. That's pretty much the entire area that you're gonna need. You're not gonna need more. You can add more, but you're not gonna need it. So why waste your product? So let's go ahead with a smaller brush and fan that out. Now, the shape that I like to use is more like a triangle, just because we're gonna go ahead and put color on top of it and we're gonna fan it out. So we don't want the top to be as thick as the bottom. So doing this gives us a little bit more wiggle room to play around with it. I'm gonna do the same with the other eye. Okay, and now we are going to go into the accent color that we want. I want to go ahead and go with gold, so I'm going to grab my brush and see how these colors perform. Oof, okay, maybe this isn't a good brush for that. Let's try another brush. If not, we may need our fingers. Okay, that's better. Gonna want to blend that out. Don't have any harsh lines. Try this with my finger. Oh, yeah. There it is. We're gonna wanna, I'm just gonna skip the brush for this eye since I know that the finger worked a lot better. So we're gonna do the same thing to this eye. Okay, now what I like to do is grab a brush because we're gonna blend it out. For me, for my liking, the lines are far too harsh. So we're gonna go back in there, grab a brush. I'm gonna go into the color that we used last, that bright green, and we are going to blend that out. Okay. Gonna do the same thing to the other eye. And there you have it. That is as simple as it gets. Now of course you can add more colors. I might actually do that just because I haven't tried out this palette and I want to review the crap out of it. So let's go ahead and get into a darker green. I'm gonna want to go right up here. More of an army green, olivey. I like it. Okay, now I grab that same fluffy brush without adding more color to it and just buff out the edges. And do the same thing to this eye, just buff out those edges. Okay, and there you have it. That is a halo look. It's that simple. What I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to get off camera, put on that liner, put on those lashes, and then show you what I do for the under eye, so that way you guys can have a better idea as to what the completed look would look like. Okay. All right, I am back with the rest of my face all done, so you can see what the final product would be looking like. Now here you can stop right here. You don't necessarily have to do anything to your under eyes. However, I feel like they're just too bare this way. So what I like to do, there's two ways. Sometimes I'm in a rush. I really don't care. I'll just grab one color and just put it underneath. Sometimes I'm feeling extra bougie and I want it to match the top lid. So I would break it up into the darker tone, the highlight, and then the other darker tone. So that way it matches completely. Now, for today, I just want basic brown. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dip into a shade. It's not necessarily one that I use up top, but it is within the same color family. It is brown. I think it probably matches more with my lipstick, really. So just tap it and blend it out. Now with this, there is no right or wrong way. I could tell you to use a certain color. You don't necessarily have to. It's whatever you're feeling. Now, as you can see, this is why I prefer to put a color under my eyes, because it's just so bare. Even after you put on mascara, it's so bare. Mind you, this is before mascara, because I've tried after mascara and it don't work. It does, but it's a mess. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to be putting eyeshadow underneath, hold off on your mascara underneath. I typically hold off on mascara anyways. It's usually my last step, just because I get really close with the concealer and the powder, and it's just, why put on mascara if you're going to be ruining it anyways? So I do the same with this eye. Now notice I am not getting all the way close into the inner crease. That is because if we do the same color all the way down, it is going to close up the eye. Unless you're going with a more smokier look, in which case, go for it. I am not. I actually like to go in with the same highlighter I have on my face, and I like to use that on the middle corner and on the arches here. So I'm going to grab a brush. In this case, it is the Fenty Trophy Wife. I'm going to just go into that one and just right here in the corner, and I'm going to bring it down. And then I'm going to grab it without dipping back in, because this one's so bright. I like to just kind of run it along there. There. It just adds a little bit more dimension to it. Do the same thing to this eye. There you have it. Last step, like I mentioned, is just going to be a little bit of mascara here. And we're just going to apply it to the lower lash line and maybe a little bit to the top if we're needing a little bit for the lashes. Okay. You could also grab an eyeliner and you can apply it to your waterline. It could be, in this case, I would probably do a brown or a black, maybe even a green, but you could do purple with this. You can even go really bold and do blue. You could do it all. You could do white. You can leave it nude. I'm actually going to leave it because I would be doing nude anyways, and guess what? That's just my skin color. So we are pretty much done. The absolute last step is the most important, and that is some setting spray. This is the Morphe setting spray. It's the continuous spray. I just want to go ahead and just there you have it. You are done. In my personal opinion, I think that the halo eyeshadow look is far easier than the cut crease. It is one of my favorites. I don't use it enough or as often as I'd like to. I always forget because I'm still trying to practice more and more on the cut crease, on just intricate eyeliner. So because I am just so focused on improving other skills, this one kind of takes a seat in the back burner. So you know, I'm going to be trying to do more looks of these, but let me know what you think. Let me know if you want me to try a specific color, a specific palette. If there's anything you guys want, you know how to reach me. Follow me on Instagram, sub here, hit that little notification button, whatever you like. I can't wait to see you guys next week. I love you. Mwah.